All right, welcome to the After Hours with TC side of the podcast. A special interview here. I'm here in the podcast penthouse, and I am joined by my longtime close personal friend, Shannon. We're not going to reveal your last name here on the program. Shannon is also a longtime friend of mine, but she was also 1/3 of the new set design team here on After Hours with TC Restani, coming back for the TV show. But recently, you outdid me on television. You were actually a contestant nationwide on the Match Game starring Alec Baldwin.
That is correct. That is correct.
Now, I've known you a million years. You always talked about your favorite game show being the Match Game growing up with Gene
Loved
Rayburn.
the Match Game.
Who was your favorite on the original Match Game from the 70s?
Well, I think it might be a tie, a close tie. There's Brett Summers.
Brett Summers, of course,
Married to Jack Klugman.
Of course, Jack Klugman, who played Quincy.
He did play Quincy.
And he was also one half of the Odd Couple.
Quincy M.E.
Quincy M.E.
Yes.
Medical examiner.
Correct.
Unbelievable. Brett Summers.
Brett Summers, and then the incomparable Charles Nelson Riley, CNR.
You know, he played Hoodoo on the Croft Super show Lidsville. Did you know that?
Loved Lidsville.
Did you?
I did.
Lidsville was the kookiest, the hippiest. But getting back...
It's kind of like your show.
Well, that is true. We don't have Charles Nelson Riley. We have Colonel Bull Montana, which is better than any panelist on the Match Game, in my opinion. But if I had a choice, I would change him out with Brett Summers in a second. Okay.
Or Fannie Flagg.
Or Fannie Flagg, or Richard Dawson.
Betty White.
Well, she's still with us. Everybody else I mentioned is dead. Except the Colonel, of course.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
Unbelievable. Now, the Match Game. Gene Rayburn, he had the signature microphone.
You ready? Are you sitting down?
I am sitting down. You notice I am sitting down at the podcast penthouse.
Okay. Well, I just need you to sit down because when I tell you this, you might flip it.
I might flip what?
You might flip your lid.
Okay.
From Lidsville.
Not Lidsville, though.
I got to touch the microphone.
You got to touch Gene Rayburn's microphone?
It is Gene Rayburn's original microphone they use.
So the only thing that has survived the Match Game from 1973 to 19 is the microphone that Alec Baldwin has now on the ABC rebirth of the Match Game.
Correct. Well, that in the orange shag carpet.
Unbelievable.
But
Did
yes.
you get like chills going down your spine?
I did. It was the show was over and the credits were running and such, and I was standing there talking to Christy Brinkley.
Oh, yes. Christy, I heard you were on a first-name basis with Christy now.
Christy and I were chit-chatting, and Alec Baldwin happened to walk by, and he put the microphone down, and he was walking away, and I just looked at Christy Brinkley, and I said, oh, my God. I said, I need to touch that microphone. I said, can I touch that? And she's like, Alec, can Shannon touch your... And as
blank?
she went to say microphone, I just grabbed it, and he said, sure, you can touch it. It's really long. And I said, I heard that about the microphone.
About the microphone.
Yes.
Well, it's Gene Rayburn's genetics down there. But speaking of getting to touch something, you got to hug Christy Brinkley.
I did.
Now, what was that like? Being that everybody that I know, including your husband, Jamie, who is standing over there right now, drooling knowing that his wife got to squeeze the uptown girl herself, Christy Brinkley.
I did get up close and personal with the uptown girl.
Really?
Yes. She's very, very nice.
She's very, very tall, too.
She is taller than you'd think.
Right.
I mean, she probably had heels on. I wasn't really looking at her feet, as I don't think many people do.
I would look. I was looking at her bush. For those of you who did watch the show, that was one of the questions that she asked, put down as an answer down there. Christy Brinkley's bush.
Yes, and actually she had quite a little diatribe about her bush.
Really?
But they cut most of it. It was a little inappropriate. But she was prancing around with the card in her bushel area.
So now we know why Billy Joel wasn't an innocent man. Unbelievable. But getting back to the match again, now how exactly did you get on network television? I mean, how did this happen?
It wasn't easy. I will tell you, it took a lot of time. My son was interested in, we were watching game shows together, and he was like, Mom, you got to get on this game show. We were watching Hollywood Game Night, and that's a game show that's on now. I don't know if you watch it.
I only watch the classics like Match Game. When I found
Card Sharks?
Card Sharks with Jim Perry, the late, great Jim Perry.
Were you a fan of Pressure Luck? No
With
whammies?
the whammies?
No whammies, no whammies,
Of course
no whammies.
I was.
Stop!
He is no longer with us either. Peter Tamarkin, he is no longer with us either.
I was a fan of. Do you remember Win, Lose or Draw?
The one with Burt Reynolds and Burt Convey.
Burt Convey.
Burt Convey hosted, but Burt Reynolds, I think, was the producer of that program.
Was he really?
He was. I think he was. Why else was Burt Reynolds be on a game show?
Yeah. Well,
I think Lonnie took everything
Burts.
from him, and he had to make some money somehow. He couldn't be signing autographs in the Bandit booth anymore. But yeah, but I love all the old time 70s and 80s game shows. I mean, you got to give her credit.
Joker's Wild.
Joker's Wild out there, but you got to give credit to Vanna White. Vanna White is now in her 35th year on Wheel of Fortune. And Vanna, if you're listening out there, you can turn my letters anytime, but don't even turn them anymore.
I heard you like her vowels.
Oh, I love her vowels. A, E, I, O, and U, and definitely sometimes Y.
Doesn't she hold like a world record of like most clapping on TV or something like
She
that?
could.
I think she
She
does.
actually
We'll have
could.
to look
She
at
could
that.
down there.
Have your research team.
I will do that.
Check
I
that
will
out.
have my research team find out what Vanna White's verbal skills and letter diction are. That's even a phrase. Get it? Phrase?
Ooh, it is a phrase.
New. All right, but getting back, your son was telling you, Mommy, you got to go on a game show.
Yes. So he went online and he filled out an application to be on Hollywood Game Night.
All right.
So about, I'd say like a year and a half later, I got a telephone call from a casting agent saying that they had a new game show that they were doing and they thought I would be a great contestant on it, and it was called You're Back in the Room.
You're back in the room.
Yes. And I highly recommend you Google You're Back in the Room and watch a clip of it. It's a show that they take 5 strangers and they put them together and they have them do tasks.
Oh,
And
really?
And you earn money if you can complete the task. The catch is they hypnotize you.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is kind of rigged, though. I don't think hypnotism is actually real.
Well, if you watch the clips, it's real.
Well, you now know working from television on our show as
Yes.
well as the big time on the match game.
Well, you're the big time.
I know I am the big
I
time.
mean, the match game was just a fly-by-night, one little thing I did.
was,
But
and
your show is the big time.
Now, did they cater you at the match game?
They cater the celebrities.
They catered the celebrities. They didn't have like the big spread that I usually have out at the shows.
Absolutely not.
No, what did you have? Like a Twix or something behind the scenes?
I had a chocolate-covered strawberry and a Coke.
Ooh, now I spread.
That was it.
I have the turkey dinners, the
I had-
barbecues, and all.
I
that
had a
stuff.
homemade turkey dinner down at your studio.
It wasn't fantastic. It was good, and it was homemade too.
It was
My
delicious.
chefs work all the time around the clock. It's kind of like the Playboy Mansion down there. But getting back to the match game, I'm fascinated. I've been around a million years. I've met a million celebrities, but I've never actually met someone who was on a game show that I actually knew. Pre-game show, pre-match game.
Yes, you knew me before I was me.
All
on
right,
the
so
show.
you got the phone call about being on this this Nickelodeon show, whatever it is.
No, it was. I think it was ABC. It may
ABC.
have been. And I was like, I'm not getting hypnotized on national TV, so I never called them back. So fast forward like 6 months, and I was in the car with my son, and the phone rang, and it said New York on my caller ID, and I don't know anybody in New York. So I said, hey, you can answer the phone. And he's like, hello. And
Is
I
that
hear
how he actually answers
he
the phone?
did. Well, he doesn't always, but when he's somebody he doesn't know, like,
I do that too. When I get
Hello?
phony numbers, I use like a foreign accent, like Latka on Taxi.
well, let me hear one of them.
You know, it's like, hello, yes, yes, no, he's not here right now. No, sorry. Mostly it's like bill collectors and whatnot looking for me and whatnot. I don't like paying bills. It's just.
How about Dionne Warwick in the Psychic Connection?
It was not Dionne Warwick. She was not calling me on the Psychic Friend Network. I have called her before, but for different reasons.
Oh,
Right. I just.
so we'll save that for another
I
podcast.
was actually calling her because I was not a fan of her rendition of the Love Boat theme.
Really?
I did not like hers. Jack Jones is the only guy who can sing the Love Boat theme.
Love Boat.
Soon will. I actually sang that before.
Let's
I'm
sing
gonna
it together.
All right.
The Love Boat
soon will be making another run. The Love Boat promises something for everyone. Set a course for adventure, your mind on a new romance. All right, that's enough right there for the Love Boat.
We're like Captain and Tennille.
Really?
Little Muskrat Love.
I have the hat on right now, isn't it? Yeah, I
It
know.
looks
I know
a little crooked.
I know a
Still
colonel. I know a colonel, but I don't know a captain. So maybe if you want to go on the road, you could be Shannon and a colonel.
That might be a quite a duo.
Okay, we got a way
I know, we
sidetracked
did.
there for a second. All right, so your son answered the phone.
Son answered the phone, and I hear him say, "What? I'm going to be on TV?" And I just looked at him and said, "Hang up." So he hung up the phone. And I said, "Who was it?" And he goes, "I don't know. Somebody from ABC said that they wanted you to be on the match game." And I just pretty much stopped the car.
And you didn't hit a guardrail or anything?
No, we were at the McDonald's
That was from our
drive-thru.
sponsor, one of our alcoholic beverage sponsors. You may have heard that over my shoulder being open right now. Of course, that's your husband, Jamie, and I think he should actually be a spokesperson for Budweiser.
I'm agreeing with that. Like, he could pay college educations with the amount of money that we give to Budweiser.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ed McMahon would be proud. All right, so ABC almost cost you to kill yourself on the highway.
We almost dropped our Happy Meal. The quarter pounder almost went
ABC
flying.
could have been another bad crash.
Ooh, you're good at this.
I am.
You are. I'm impressed.
Thank
you. This should be a game show for you.
That is.
It is. So when I ever heard, he's like, "Oh yeah, it was Match Game." I was like, I need to give them a call back because I used to watch Match Game 73, 78 with my grandparents. So I called back and I explained who I was and what happened. And they said that they were having an open casting call in Boston and they wanted me to go. They wanted to see if I was going to be able to because they had my file and thought that I'd be a good contestant. So my husband's longtime friend joined me. Mm-hmm. He brought me to Boston and we spent a long 7 hours.
7
waiting.
hours for an audition?
Yes, an open casting call. There were probably, I'd say, maybe 100 people there. You filled out a form, and it was kind of like, who are your favorite Match Game contestants in the past, or Match Game panelists, sorry.
You know who my favorite Match Game contestant was?
Kirstie Alley.
Kirstie Alley.
I had a feeling.
Lieutenant Savick from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan.
You liked her blanks?
I did like her blanks. Not as much as I liked Christie's Bush, though.
Well, who doesn't?
I don't know. Elton John, I have no clue.
Oh, John.
But going back, all right, so you waited for 7 hours in an
7
audition
hours.
for the Match Game. Now, did they have like a fake set and everything?
They had just a backdrop.
Oh, just a backdrop.
Just a backdrop that said the Match Game. And they interviewed you. They asked you what you like to do in your spare time and how you watched the show. And then they gave you a few sample questions.
Give me a sample question. See if I'm good at this.
Okay, I've got a sample question for you.
All right.
Let's see. Sample question. Let's see. I hear TC and his crew have just hit Las Vegas. They have now been called the new Blank Pack.
If they know my crew, they're the Whack Pack.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We've matched there. Unbelievable.
We have matched.
Unbelievable.
That was impressive.
It
That
was
good.
impressive.
We were good.
Maybe I should go on the next audition.
How about Big Bull is so big?
How big is he?
He is so big that now his blank cannot fit in his pants.
Wham, boom, boom, boom.
I think TC's blushing over there.
Well, Big Bull is so big.
How big is he?
Now that he's so big, his blank can't fit in his pants, huh?
Yes.
I'm going to have to say his wallet.
Very good. That is a great answer because they want you to think it's going to be the dirty answer, but
Right.
they always want to go for the clever answer.
And that is the clever answer.
That was a very clever
And if
answer.
you know Bull,
and
he
I wanna
has
know,
nothing in his wallet.
Well, I was going to ask, how big is Bull's wallet?
Empty. Everything is always on my credit card. And I've known Bull for 30 years. And by the way, Bull, if you're listening out here, that $60 for you over me, that limo ride from 1999, you still have not paid up on that.
Limo ride?
A limo ride.
Where were you guys going?
New York City, actually.
Wow, that must have been a long limo ride
It was
from,
a long
from Vegas.
limo ride from Las Vegas. The plane wasn't
Wow.
working that day, so we took along, and he owes me money for that, for gas and
Yeah.
tolls and many, many pit stops at the KFC, Burger King, McDonald's, you name it. If it's
You were
fast
there?
food, it was in Colonel's Gut that was on that trip back there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you do the audition.
You do the audition.
Now, how long before from the audition to you actually getting a phone call saying, come
Let's
on
see.
down?
The audition was October 7th.
October 7th.
Yes. And it was probably, it was Halloween, actually. It was
Trick or
Halloween
treat.
night, trick or treat night. I got the phone call that they were going to be taping November 7th.
November 7th.
And they needed me to fill out some more waivers and release forms, kind of like you have us do.
I do, all the time.
And fill out all the paperwork. We had to do a Skype interview.
Oh, Skype.
Yes.
Very 21st century.
Very.
I don't see Gene Rayburn ever doing Skype.
No. I think his were more like cartoon drawings.
Could have been stick people.
It was.
Tin cans with a string. That's how old Gene Rayburn was. We love you, Gene. You know, Gene's buried in Gloucester, Massachusetts.
I did know that.
Did you go there and pay your respects after the match game?
I did not.
Are you waiting for the good weather, I'm assuming?
Well, I'm waiting for the check.
Oh, okay. Even better. Unbelievable. We'll get to that later on. So it's Halloween. You get the phone
It's
call.
Halloween.
November 7th, you're down there in the Big Apple, right?
I did. I took a bus.
You took they didn't give you first class airfare?
They did not. They did. And not even a box of rice-a-roni.
Well, that is the San Francisco treat. What about turtle wax?
No turtle wax.
Nothing.
No
huh?
turtle wax in sight.
Well, I'm gonna have to call my connections down at ABC.
If you could, because
I mean,
that would be really nice.
well,
Nothing.
actually, that's more of a partying gift. You weren't. Partying.
It was a parting gift. It was.
So you weren't partying yet.
Well, they did give.
You were departing.
They did give everyone who participated they reimbursed you for your travel.
Okay.
And
now, which bus was it? Was it the Peter Pan?
No, it was
Greyhound?
it was the C&J.
Bolt.
C&J.
C&J.
Out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Oh.
And it was very nice. It was a very smooth ride. The driver was very nice. It was fast. It happened to be the same day as the New York City Marathon.
Oh, of course.
So we were a little diverted.
Bull ran that a couple of years ago.
The running of the bull?
Yeah, the running of the bull. He still hasn't finished yet. He wants to be the longest running marathon holder in the world, time-wise. Got to give him credit. People want to try to be the quickest. He wants to be the slowest.
I like that.
So there you go.
I
So
like it.
New York City. Now, I understand this is the first time you've actually been in New York City.
It was.
The Big Apple. Now, what's that like? You know, going from a small town Massachusetts girl to the Big Apple, making your way to ABC to be on network television.
Honestly, I kind of felt a little bit like Mary Tyler Moore. I wanted to throw a beret up in the air.
Well, that was Minneapolis.
I know, but she was a girl in the big city. That's kind of what I felt like.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I grew up down the street from a farm, so to be in New York City, it was pretty amazing.
Wow.
It was nice. I bought an I Heart New York shirt.
Really?
I did.
Did you buy that at the bus terminal?
I did.
Okay.
On my way home.
I understand that. We have spies everywhere.
Wow.
Okay. Now, so you
I'm
get
afraid.
to ABC.
We get to ABC.
That is the American Broadcasting Company Corporation.
Company, I believe.
Okay,
yes.
I haven't been down to ABC in quite a while.
Well, I heard you're not allowed. They may have
There
had
was
a
an
big
incident
picture.
with Susan Lucci a few years back. All right? Let's not get into it. All my children, I thought she was talking about something we did earlier. I couldn't, sorry. Long story short, different time, different thing. We're not talking about my match game, all right? All right, so you know what?
That would be a love connection.
Was that Chuck Woolery?
It was. He was back in 2 and 2.
Oh, unbelievable. Back in 2 and 2. All right. Getting back to 2 and 2 at ABC.
Okay.
Now, tell me about the green room at ABC. Now, when I used to go to the studios in Burbank and whatnot when I was a kid, I saw the huge green rooms. They were catered. They had everything. They had luxurious furniture and whatnot. What was the green room like for a match game contestant in 2016?
Not what you'd imagine.
Was it green?
It was not green. It was, imagine going to your doctor's office.
Okay.
And, when you go into the doctor's office, each little room has its own little spot.
Right.
For it to go and see all the, nurse practitioners.
Oh, big word.
It was like that, but all the rooms were empty. It was like being in an office building.
And how many people were crammed into this green room?
There must have been probably 25 of us. We all had our own dressing rooms.
So was that the porta potty down the street?
It was the porta potty. It was me and Jarrett.
Not the guy from Subway.
No, that's Jared.
Oh, that's Jared.
Yes,
okay.
This was Jarrett. He actually was on my episode.
Oh, was he?
Yes. So it was Jarrett, the personal trainer.
Always a PT.
Yeah. Then there was Gene, Mean Gene.
The dancing machine from the Gong Show?
I wish he was the dancing machine. He was a truancy officer from New Jersey.
Oh, of course. Well, you ever been to New Jersey? There's a lot of truancy that needs to go on down there.
And then my pal Gay Glenn.
Gay Glenn.
Gay Glenn, he is a operating room nurse.
Really?
Yes.
Kind of like Ben Stiller in Meet the Parents?
Sort of, but taller.
Okay.
But very nice guy. And unfortunately for poor Gay Glenn, he was eating one of the chocolate-covered strawberries that I had found and lost a tooth. And because he lost his tooth in the trash, I had to dig it out of the trash. he was unable to go on the show because it was the front tooth. So he couldn't smile. He had a big gaping
Why
hole.
didn't you say he was from like West Virginia? Everybody would have understood.
He said that. He said, I look like I'm from Alabama, not to offend anyone from Alabama who may be listening. So he was unable to be on the show, so he had to leave, so I got to take his spot.
Now, did you tamper with that strawberry so you could get on the show so Gay Glenn could, go down and see the local...
You're quick. I didn't think you were going to put 2 and 2 together like that.
Well, 2 and 2, like Chuck Woolery, back in 2
Back
and 2.
in 2 and 2.
I understood this.
It's all about CW.
So basically, you were down there as an alternate.
I was an alternate.
And the game show gods were looking down on you that day.
They smiled upon me.
They smiled on you, no pun intended, because the guy lost a tooth.
I know.
And he's off to see, the dentist down the street.
But it all worked out for him because he's going to be on a new game show where he can win up to $1 million. So, it all worked out well for him.
So, okay. So good for him. Hopefully he'll get a new smile. Now, you get picked. You're like, all right, you're the alternate. You're on the show.
Yes.
Now, how quickly from the time they told you were an alternate were you spinning around waving to the audience?
From the time they came back into the dressing room and said, we need you now, it was probably about 3 minutes.
3 minutes?
You had to be fast. You sat around all day long until they came and picked you out of the bunch, and you were on as soon as they came down to get you.
And you were paired up against Juanita from Chicago, right?
Juanita, the Cubs fan.
Really? Now, you were on the game show. Now, who were the panelists? Who were the celebrity panelists? Other than the unbelievable Christy Brinkley, who else was the panelist?
Let's see. There was Adam Carolla.
All right.
From The Man Show.
Right.
There was Wendy Malick.
Okay.
I
know who Wendy Malick is.
Wendy Malick is fantastic. I loved her on Frasier.
Okay.
Hot in Cleveland. Let's see. There was Chris Colfer from Glee.
Never seen that show.
You've never seen Glee?
No, the only thing I know about Glee was the Glee Club when Peter Brady wanted to do it on the Brady Bunch episode. Deacon Jones.
Is that when his voice cracked?
No, that was when it's time to change.
Oh, I thought that was the Glee Club one.
No, that was not the Glee Club.
Oh, that was when they wrote their own music?
I don't even remember.
And they were recording it to make money for their parents' anniversary?
They could have been doing something
that
like
was
that.
a Silver Platter.
I'll have to ask Sub Boston Jeff. He's an aficionado on the Brady Bunch.
Let's see. So Chris Colfer from Glee. Christy Brinkley, Jay Farrow, who is a comedian that was on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
He played Barack Obama and Ben Carson.
Okay.
And then Anna Gasteyer, who was also from Saturday Night Live.
Right.
That was my panelist.
Okay, other than Christy and Carolla, I really never heard of any of these.
Well,
other
you heard of Wendy?
I knew Wendy, but she's like a second-rate.
Well, I was
celebrity.
really disappointed because they give you a list earlier in the day of the celebrities that may be on your panelist, and Caroline Rhea was one of them.
Of
I
course.
love her.
Yes.
Cheryl Hines was there. Jenna Fisher was there that day. What is
She's not related to Carrie Fisher, is she?
No, I don't believe
All right.
so. She was in The Office.
Okay, I never. Oh, I know who she is. She's very cute.
Yes.
I know who she is.
Yes, she was Pam on The Office.
I don't know. I never watched the show.
Pam
but I know
Beasley. It's a great show.
I know who she is.
And my mind's going blank. The guy from Seinfeld, the little bald one.
Jason Alexander.
Yes. He was there, and Horatio Sands was also there the same day.
Who?
Horatio Sands, he was also on Saturday Night
Okay.
Live.
You know, I haven't watched Saturday Night Live since like Eddie Murphy and them were on it.
Eddie Murphy was not there.
Okay, I don't think Eddie Murphy is going to stoop so low he's going to be on a match game.
What do you mean? Excuse me?
All right. He's not Charles Nelson Riley caliber. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
give you that.
All right, so there's your panel.
There's my panel.
And now, in the TV business, was this recorded live to tape?
It was live to tape. It was as though it was live. Things moved that quickly.
Was the porno music playing?
It was.
The match game porno music.
It was.
Unbelievable out there. Now, when they go to commercial breaks, they don't go for like 2 or 3 minutes, right? They just go instantaneously. They pick right back up.
They go for probably 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
Yes.
And then they pick it right back up. Now,
pick it right back up.
I mean, other than my television show and whatnot, you've actually never had any television experience whatsoever.
Nothing on a camera ever.
Really? Now, were you nervous thinking that, all right, how many people were actually in the audience? Because they never show the audience.
They don't show the audience. Do you know, I think I have a picture I could show you here,
Okay.
TC. There were probably about, I'd say like 300 people maybe.
300 people in the studio audience.
And it was very cold in there.
Well, it was November, right?
Well, it was November, but there's heat in the building.
Well, there's a lot of studio lights and whatnot. They don't want the
was-
Maybelline running on Wendy Malick or something like that, right? Or even Alec.
Or even Alec. Alec had on some makeup, but Christy Brinkley had on the most makeup.
Yeah, but Christy Brinkley is Christy Brinkley. She gets a pass. All right?
She does get a pass.
All right? I mean, now while you're looking for that picture there, Alec Baldwin, huh? Now he's a fine actor. He was in Beetlejuice, right?
He was in Beetlejuice. He was in Cat in the Hat.
He was in Cat in the Hat, and
We're picking out all his best films.
well, Beetlejuice. If it wasn't for Beetlejuice, no one would know who Alec Baldwin is. All right.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Other than two-time in
Blind Date.
I never saw that.
Pearl Harbor.
Okay, that's years later. I'm talking when he first got his start.
Wasn't he on? Was it Falcon Crest?
I really don't know. I wasn't a Falcon Crest fan.
No, it wasn't Falcon Crest.
I was
what
a Dallas fan and a Dynasty.
Oh,
fan.
I was a Dallas and Dynasty, but I watched a little Falcon Crest. But no, he wasn't on it.
But getting back to him, he's a very controversial individual.
He's outspoken.
He does not like the paparazzi and whatnot, and he does not like phone calls from his kid, from what I was told. But that's a different story for a different night. But now, what was your take on Alec? Was he his cool dude?
He really was. He was very, very professional. I was impressed that as he's hosting the show, if he had to stop for a second, he just stopped and he's like, I'm redoing it, and just
Well, he is one of the executive producers of the program.
He is, and do you know he does not get paid?
He does not get paid.
The money he gets for the show goes directly to charity. I believe it might even be for cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, hats off to Alec then.
Yeah.
Now, how many episodes before you got there had he recorded that day?
Before mine, I believe they did 7.
7?
Yes.
And how many after yours?
I was the last one.
You were the last one of the season, right?
Yes.
So that's why, wow, imagine taping 8 shows. I have problems taping 1 show in one day. I mean, well,
oh, you are very professional. You could probably whip through at least 6 or 7.
well, that is possibly true, but they don't have to deal with the colonel and his hunger pains and all that other stuff. Oh, I'm looking at a picture here right now, which we will not show on the air. Okay, there's the audience back there, and they have the teleprompters and everything and whatnot. Okay, that's a pretty decent sized audience.
I mean, it's not a TC size audience.
It's not a TC audience, and of course, my fans are better than the Match Game fans because we're an original. We're not a reboot. So
it was funny seeing the cue cards with our names spelled like phonetically for Alec Baldwin.
For those of us who don't know what phonetically means.
Well, mine said Shannon,
Right.
Shannon.
Right.
And then there was Juanita, and it was spelled WAN, then it was NEETAH, Juanita. So he'd say it right.
Right. Because
It was
Juanita begins with a J, right?
It does begin with a J.
All right.
Yes.
It's kind of like
Juanita.
it's kind of like in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah starting with an I. For those of you who saw Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
how have you been married to your husband for that long and has not seen Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
You got to keep things fresh and spicy. Ooh, drops paint.
Kind of like Christie's Bush. All right, but getting back, so you
Spicy?
hey, I have fantasies too, right? All right, so
That
moving.
brings us to Fantasy Island.
Yes, the plane.
Which I wonder if Christy was ever on it.
I don't think she was on Fantasy Island. She could have been
She
on.
could have been.
I think she
It's
was
probably
kind
more
of
of a
too
Morgan
young.
Fairchild.
Oh, Morgan.
Was probably on.
I would like to see Morgan Fairchild's Bush as well, but that's a different story for a different time. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about here, I think we're in the gutter and whatnot. Christy Brinkley was actually talking about her bush. Can you inform the fans why she was talking about her bush on the Match Game?
Well, one of Juanita's questions was something to the effect of the organizers of Burning Man have arranged a concert for empowering women, and it's going to be called the Burning Blank.
Oh, I get it. A little biblical reference there.
Correct. And everybody answered.
Because let's be honest, not you, but most guys out there, if they saw Christie's bush, would be screaming, "Oh God!"
Possibly.
No, possibly. I'll have to pull your husband later.
Now I didn't go for Bush. Luckily, it wasn't my question because I wouldn't have
You
done
voted
very
for
well.
Clinton?
No, I was actually I thought bras,
You thought bras.
burning bras.
Oh, okay, yeah, burning braziers.
Yeah, and that's where I would have gone, and I wouldn't have done well.
Well, speaking of
There were 4 bushes. Four people answered Bush.
really,
Yes, and poor Juanita. She
was
said,
one of them Barbara?
No, poor Juanita. She answered vagina, and they didn't give her the answer. They didn't say that was the same.
Well, now
Alec was actually like,
Alec was lobbying for the answer.
He was.
Because I've noticed on the newer version of the Match Game,
They're
of the
a
few
lenient.
episodes I've seen, they're kind of like guttery.
Not
Risque?
gutter, it's risque.
Good
yes,
word.
that goes with
Risque down there.
A little naughty.
I mean, they kind of they are after hours now. It's not in the
Yes,
morning like
right.
the original Match Game.
Yes.
It's on a Sunday night at like 9 or 10, somewhere
9
you're
o'clock.
watching
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And they can get away with more.
It's a little racy.
It is a little racy.
A little risque.
It's cool. I mean, that wouldn't have worked if Roseanne Barr was talking about a bush there, because no one would care.
No, but Rosie O'Donnell was on.
And she likes Bush, but that's a different story for a different time. So now you've beaten Juanita. Now, what was the question you beat Juanita with?
Let's see. My Juanita beating question was the new adult dictionary.
The new adult dictionary.
Yes, it says erotic is tickling your partner with a chicken's feather. Kinky is tickling your partner with the chicken's blank.
Oh, I would have said beak.
That's what I said. And so didn't Adam Carolla. And we made a match.
And you matched with Adam
We
Carolla.
matched with Adam Carolla.
And you won the game, then you went up for the big, what is it, the super match?
The audience match is
Oh,
first.
the audience match.
The audience match,
Okay,
yes.
and that was what?
Blank hammer.
Blank hammer.
Correct. So I could pick 3 celebrities to
And
get
who did
there.
you pick?
I picked Adam Carolla.
Adam Carolla.
Yes, and he answered Sledge.
Sledge.
Which is what I thought. As soon as I saw Blank Hammer, my mind went directly to Sledge.
Okay.
I also picked Christy, because who can say no to Christy's bush?
No one.
And she said, with a little wiggle of her shoulders.
Speaking of hammering things, all right, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. With a little wiggle of her shoulders, she said, MC? As
She
in
was really thinking of
MC.
TC, but she screwed up.
She did.
She did.
She said that to me afterwards.
I know she did. We text all the time, me and Christy.
You and Christy?
Yeah, of course. Okay, so you got the second match, right?
Well, she said MC Hammer, and then I asked Anna Gasteyer, and
Right.
she said arm and
Okay.
hammer. So
I would have said Greg because I'm a wrestling fan. For those out there remember Greg the Hammer Valentine?
You wouldn't have
I
won.
wouldn't have won anything.
You wouldn't have won anything.
Okay.
You
Well,
would have gotten wah, wah.
sorry. That's why I wasn't on the match game and you were. Okay.
So let's see. The third answer was Jack Hammer.
Okay, Jack Hammer. Yeah.
Jack Hammer. The number 2 answer was indeed Sledge Hammer.
It was Sledge.
So I won. That was the $3,000 answer.
Okay.
So I won $3,000.
3,000 buckaroos.
Yes, and the number 1 answer was MC. So I should have gone with.
You
Christy.
should have went with Christy, but that's a different story for a different time, all right?
Yeah.
So you made it. You got
I did.
Sledgehammer.
I got Sledgehammer,
All
which
right.
was a Peter Gabriel. Sledgehammer.
Oh, that is true. Unbelievable. So now then you go to what?
Oh, so MC Hammer was the answer.
Right.
And Alec Baldwin goes, "Oh, it's MC Hammer." And I looked at him, and this got cut. This wasn't on the show.
It was deleted for
This
broadcast.
was edit because I actually was kind of funny, and they cut me out. It was kind of. I thought I'd be on it 'cause it's a little racy. It said MC Hammer, and I went, "Oh, you can't touch this." And Alec Baldwin looked at me, and he said, "She said I can't touch this." And I looked at him, and I said, "Well, you can get close, but you can't touch." And everyone laughed, and it was very funny, but I got cut.
But
And then I realized that I just said, "You can't touch this" to Alec Baldwin, and in front of 300 people, and it was going on national TV. I was a little wise ass to Alec Baldwin.
Good.
All right.
I'm impressed. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. So didn't you make it to now? Is this the super match here?
Now we go to the super match.
The super match.
Where there's no fooling around. In the super match, they say you have to match exactly. There's no
if, ands, or buts.
no going to the judges on this one. You have to match exactly.
All right. And the question was?
The question was, watch your blank.
Watch your blank.
And then the music plays.
Okay. Now, if I was on there, I would have said, because a lot of the people I'm associated with, watch your wallet.
Watch your wallet. That's one that did not come up. No one thought watch your wallet. Do you want my answer?
Please.
I said watch your step.
Watch your step.
Yes.
Other people said probably watch your back.
Watch your back. Watch your mouth.
Watch your mouth.
Yes.
Watch your P's and Q's.
Watch your P's and Q's. So the first thing I thought was watch your step. So I turned around and Adam Carolla actually said, "All of these bastards here tried to get me to change my mind, but I went with my gut." And he said, "Watch your step."
And the place goes crazy.
Place goes crazy.
Now, what kind of an adrenaline rush did you have right when you found out that Adam Carolla matched you in the super match and you won how much?
I won $15,000.
$15,000.
$15,000.
And you weren't even expected to be on the show that day.
That's right. I was an alternate.
An alternate. That guy's getting a root canal, and you're getting $15K.
15G.
$15,000.
Yes.
Now, unbelievable. Now, did you have? They don't give the check right away, do they?
No, they have 180 days after the show airs
Okay,
to
so
send the check.
roughly, what is that? Like a few months or
Like
something?
6 months or
6
something.
months.
Yeah.
So the whole process is a whole year
It'll be about a year, yeah.
until you get the payoff from the match game.
Correct. And it pay off federal taxes, New York state taxes, mass taxes. So I'm probably going to end up owing Alec Baldwin like $800 or something.
Really, going to have to owe him
Probably.
after that. Now,
Probably.
now, when the check comes, you think it's going to say match game on it?
It will probably say ABC Studios, I
ABC.
think.
Now, part of me would probably be like, okay, it's $15,000 or however much it is after taxes and whatnot. Part of me would like, I'm not going to cash this. I'm going to frame this.
Well, that's why I can take a picture of it and frame the picture
Okay.
and cash the check.
So you're
I'm
gonna,
cashing it.
You are cashing the
I'm
check?
cashing it, yes.
Okay, all right. Well, who's your best friend
I
in
got-
television other than Alec Baldwin? It's your good friend T.C. Restani right here. And $15,000 or how much you get would surely put a big dent in the debt for the Colonel's food bill for a month.
It would pad that wallet we were talking about.
It would. It would pad his wallet and pad his stomach. It's kind of like running a zoo with him, but that's a different story for a different time. So wow. Now, you actually kept the card that said Step. I have
did.
seen it. I'm
Yes.
actually holding it right
It's
now.
Yes, that blue
It
card.
does say Step, and it's signed by Adam Carolla.
Yes.
And I know this is going to be put in a frame and passed down to generations and generations.
Now, actually, I need your advice.
What's that?
Which side do I frame?
Okay, because on one side it has the match game logo,
Absolutely.
and on the back it has Step with Adam Carolla. Now, I do collect a lot of celebrity autographs out there.
Well, I know you give a lot of autographs.
I
so-
do give a lot of autographs as well. And what I would suggest is I would Xerox the match game logo. Xerox. Is that a word still? Do they still do that?
I don't know, maybe like the carbon copy machine where you crank it and
The mimeograph?
mimeograph.
All right, the ditto machine.
Ditto machine.
Okay. Dating myself there, going back in time, the ditto machine. So I would ditto the match game, right? And I would frame the Adam Carolla gimmick right there and put that on the wall. Mm-hmm. All right, that's what I would do. And I know you have screen grabs. Actually, for those of you who've been listening to this interview and watching it on YouTube, there's been a screen grab of you on the match game up the entire time.
Oh, not the one where it looks like they're fitting me for a straight jacket
No, not
and a
that
restraining
one.
order.
No. But I did Photoshop myself. I took you out, and I'm now hugging Christy Brinkley. So I did that. Sorry, but listen, I was a
Okay.
big Vacation fan. Holiday Road. Whoa. But so once you're done,
Would you have jumped in the pool?
in a second, I wouldn't care if there was the great white sharks were in there. Actually, you know what? I may sound crazy, and people may disagree with me. I think she's actually hotter now
No.
than she was back then.
No.
Hey,
I mean, don't get me wrong. She's stunningly beautiful for 63 years old. She's amazing.
she's a MILF.
But before,
Either or.
prime
Okay,
vacation.
I don't have access to my time machine right now, so I can't go back to 1983.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have to deal with her at 63. Okay,
Okay.
that's just me. I just
She
like
was stunning.
I like the older broads. All right, plain and simple.
Broads.
I grew up, in Las Vegas, visiting all of the Dewdrop Inns and all the shady nightclubs and whatnot. So
Were you a fan of Phyllis Diller?
no, I was not a fan of Phyllis Diller because she reminded me of Madame the Puppet.
Love Waylon Jennings and Madam.
Waylon Jennings. I think that's where he got the inspiration from Madam was from Phyllis Diller.
Was it Waylon Jennings?
It was no Waylon Jennings
No,
was on
he's
the
a
Dukes of
singer.
Hazzard. Waylon Flowers.
Waylon
Jennings was the guy who sang the Dukes of Hazzard theme. But I don't know many Waylons out there, right? Other than that fish restaurant, right? Okay. So Waylon Jennings, he's dead, and Waylon Flowers is dead, and more importantly, so is
Madam dead?
Madam may be still alive.
I think I love Madam.
Madam may still be alive.
Madam
and
was
may
fantastic.
resurface. I think she's having a relationship with Jeffy, but that's a different story for a different time.
A lamb chop.
Or Lamb Chop is dead.
No.
Someone cooked Lamb Chop. You didn't hear that?
No.
Yeah, Lamb Chop is gone. Phyllis Diller, gone.
Okay, I've got a lamb chop doll.
Do you?
That talks, and it actually is kind of creepy. Like it sounds like a.
Do you talk to
a
the
ta-
Lamb
a-
Chop doll?
I
So that $15K may have to go to psychiatric
therapy.
treatment.
I will find the lamb chop doll and show it to you.
Fantastic.
It talks like this, and
Oh,
it's kind of scary.
really?
It sounds like a stock. You need a hug.
Okay.
And then it goes, "Can I tell you a secret?" It's
Okay, let's go back to
Okay, sorry.
Shannon has gone bye. Let's go back to the match game here. All right, so you won. The credits have ended.
yes.
Now, what do they do after that? Once the credits ended, they just show you the door.
Yes. Yes, I heard them. I touched Alex's microphone.
You did touch Alex's microphone,
and
which is actually Gene Rayburn's microphone.
Gene Rayburn's microphone.
Let's not forget that. That's Gene's microphone
It is Gene's.
that Alec is just borrowing.
He's borrowing.
That should be in a
utilizing.
Smithsonian somewhere.
It should.
Should be. Not
With
Alec,
some of
the
orange,
microphone.
orange shag should also go
Really? Okay.
in there. So I was talking to Christy Brinkley,
Oh. Yeah.
and she was telling me how wonderful Boston is,
Okay.
and that her son goes to college here.
Really?
Yes, and that she just thinks it's a fantastic place. And she was talking about the Red Sox and said that she thinks it's fantastic that I have two little boys that love sports. And she asked for my contact information.
Once again, I do realize that Christy and I have texted before.
You could have just given her my contact
But,
information.
I can't do that.
She said that she has a friend, her friend Katie. And then she said, Katie Couric. And I was like, oh, of course, Katie.
She's no Maria Stefano, so just put it that way.
Again, who is?
Not many.
So she asked me for my contact information and said that she was going to contact Katie's old boyfriend. She goes, somebody who he owned the Red Sox or something. And she was going to try to get me tickets.
So basically, Christy Brinkley's a scalper.
Pretty much, yes. She stands
She's
outside
the Mike
Fenway
Damone
Park.
of the match game.
She stands outside of Fenway Park. Need tickets? Want tickets? Selling tickets? That's her thing, I think.
She keep them in her bush.
She does keep them in the bush. It's
Now,
her file cabinet.
Has she come through on this? Have you gotten any tickets from Christy?
No, but
Christy,
I think
what's
it was
going on, sweetheart?
Well, I think it was a little different. It was just after the World Series, so baseball was over. So we had the whole timeout. So I don't think
But
she
this
remembered.
happened with the cameras off, so she wasn't playing it up for the cameras.
No, she wasn't.
This was like
cameras
Shannon
off.
and Christy time.
Shannon and Christy time. So when I was talking to one of the production assistants, I was telling them that story, and they said the talent never asks the contestants for anything. She said, "Did you give her your information?" And I said, "No, I didn't have anything." She's like, "Give it to me now." She's like, "I will run it out to Christy." She said, "If the celebrities ask for something, you get it for them." So Christy has my card.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So next time you talk to her, ask her if she could contact me.
I will definitely do that. Next
you
time
could
I
do
see
that, that'd be
Christy, I'm going to say, hey, give Shannon and her bratty kids
I'd appreciate
the
that.
tickets to the Red Sox games.
I would appreciate it.
Or all hell's going to break loose. Because you got $15K. You can do a lot of damage with $15K.
I could probably buy like 2 beers and a hot dog.
Where, Fenway Park?
At Fenway Park.
Unbelievable. So now let me be the game show host here. All right, Shannon, you just won $15,000. What are you going to do with it?
Well, honestly, I'm gonna pay bills with it. But they tell you they don't want to know that you're paying bills
That's
with
a
it.
boring answer.
That's
anyway.
what they said.
Even if you won like $1 million.
They said we don't want to hear you're paying bills with it. We don't want to hear you're going to Disney World. Come up with something good. We need a good answer. So my idea was I was going to get tickets, front row tickets to the Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, and Patriots for my family.
Wow.
So
Why don't you open a restaurant and call it Christie's Bush?
it's not a bad idea.
A buffet.
Board of Health might not like that though.
That's all right. We had a president named Bush.
That's what she was
Two
talking
of them,
about.
actually.
She was discussing that in her little diatribe. It was,
Oh, really? You know, see, I haven't seen the episode. I was kind of...
What? You haven't seen my episode?
I have not seen it. I've seen the pictures that you've sent.
I have seen all of your TV shows. You didn't see my one?
Well, the reason I could
I'm a
not
little
do
hurt.
it, I was a little inebriated that night.
I'm a little hurt.
I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt.
I
I know you're not hurt either.
No, I am.
Because listen,
I thought we were closer than that.
we are close friends, and you are 1/3 of my new design team for after I was at TC Restani.
I might design a trap door behind your desk.
That's good. I need one because some of these guests are horrible. I need a way out of Dodge real quick, whatnot. So getting back to the match game now. Any other game shows that you want to be on?
Let's see.
Now that you are probably going to end up on Nick at Night on one of those game show
Buzzer.
networks. Or Buzzer.
Buzzer.
That's right.
Buzzer.
It'll be Shannon, Chuck Woolery,
Juanita.
and Juanita, and and Bill Cullen.
Bill Cullen.
Bill
Loved
Cullen
Bill
down there.
Cullen.
You are now in game show history.
I'd like to be on Password.
Really?
I have a password?
I do. Wasn't
be on
that Betty White's husband?
Alan Funt?
No, Alan Ludden. Alan Funt was on Hidden Candid Camera.
Oh.
Alan Ludden.
Alan
Kind of
Ludden.
like the lozenge.
Like Ludens.
Ludens, Ludden, whatever part of the country you're from.
Ludens, Ludden.
Ludens, Luddens, and whatnot.
Lozenge.
So you want to be on Password, but is that still around?
I don't know if that's around. $25,000 or $100,000 pyramid's still around.
Well, Dick Clark's no longer around, so they can't do that.
He's not. I think Michael Strahan is
Who?
the he was on Kelly and Michael, and he ditched it. Yeah, he was on Good Morning America. He was a football player for the New York Giants.
I have no clue who that is.
You must have bet on him at some point.
No, I don't
The
bet.
Giants.
I only bet on wrestling.
In Vegas, and you don't bet?
No. People bet on me in Vegas.
Oh.
Right.
That's free money right there.
It is free money down there. So I'm thinking, what game show would I want to be on? I mean, now that all the classics are gone, Match Game is back, but it's not. To me, it's Match Game is always going to be Gene Rayburn constantly. Unless they computer generate him, I'll go on that one. But I'd actually like to be a panelist on the Match Game.
I think you should be a panelist.
You know, I can take up the first row there where Adam Carolla sat in the picture I'm looking at right now. I would sit where Adam Carolla is on the show. I wouldn't want to be a regular on the Match Game.
No, I think you'd be good in the Richard Dawson spot.
In the Richard Dawson, well, he did get all the action on the show and whatnot. And he was always wedged between the two hotties that were ever on Match Game.
Absolutely.
They weren't in Christie caliber.
No. And they always went with him for the super match.
Really?
Because he was good at it.
He was good at it. And of course, he went on later to become the only host, in my opinion, of Family Feud.
I agree.
Now, what about Family Feud? I can see your dysfunctional family, who I love to death, by the
So
way.
we'd be on Dysfunctional Family Feud?
Dysfunctional family. I can say these things because I've known him forever. I've known your husband since way back in Vegas when he was out there panhandling, when he was like 10 years old, hustling stuff on the street. Let's just put it that way, all right? So, yeah, I think a Family Feud or whatnot, I think they should bring back...
See, I like the old Family Feud. Now with Steve Harvey, it's
I've never watched the new Family Feud. Once Richard Dawson checked out, I stopped watching that show. One of my favorite. Remember, what was the first one that Alex Trebek hosted? Remember the Dice one? What was that one called? High Rollers?
I think it was High Rollers.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
High Rollers and whatnot.
High Rollers. I like Card Sharks was always fun. Higher.
Marky Post was one of the broads that turned the
She was
cards.
a card girl?
She was a card chick on that show.
Nice.
She was one of the card sharks down there.
So you remember there was the blue cat, the blue side and the red side.
Right. I always wanted the red one because I was with a red sequin jacket on the program out there. But yeah, I love the old game shows, and the game show themes are the best.
Because that was the one higher or lower.
Higher, lower,
100
freeze.
people. Like 100 people were asked. Like what's
the percentage of people who really love Christie's Bush? Was it higher or lower?
And so somebody would say, I'd say 70%, and then
Jim?
the other person would have to say if it was higher or lower. So,
right.
Well, higher.
Unbelievable.
Higher.
Now that you are in game show history, 100 years from now when people are still watching this episode of the Match Game, what's your legacy? What do you want to say to the Match Game fans out there?
What do I want to say to the Match Game fans? Believe in yourself. You can do anything.
You can do anything?
You can do anything.
It's like Doc Brown says, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything.
You can. As Dumb Dora says.
Dumb Dora is so dumb.
How dumb is she?
She's so dumb, she voted against you on the Match Game.
That would be pretty dumb.
All right. Unbelievable.
Pretty dumb.
You are now forever going to be known to the world out there as Match Game Shannon.
Thanks. So, I could be known as something worse, so I'll take it.
Okay. And on that note, we're gonna wrap this little interview up.
Can you wrap it up with Match Game music?
I'm gonna wrap. Can you listen right now? Can you hear it? There, it's playing right
love
now. Where of course we're dedicating this interview to the late great G. Rayburn.
That makes me happy. That makes my heart warm.